So not only are we a very happy team at Hawthorn after the 27-point win over the Crows, I thought I would go and look through one of my most popular videos ever, which is where I effectively guaranteed Adelaide being the team that jumps from outside of the 8 into the top 4 in 2024, and try to decipher whether it was bad calls at the time that went wrong, or was it sound logic that was let down by an inept and very bad structure and tactical Adelaide team. So let's break this down. I'm looking forward to this. I hope you are too. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to join the Daz Talks Footy family, and let's get into it. Alrighty, this is going to feel weird, but we're going to give it a go. Dazception. Now, I record and edit, do everything myself. Gonna be honest, 8 months ago, no clue what I've said here. So, look, the point of this video, as we know, is we want to find out whether the takes at the time have just aged badly outside of my control, or did I ignore some pretty blatant sort of red flags here, or red, blue, and yellow flags, if you want to look at it that way. So, Dazception, let's give this a go. I've had a bit of a soft spot for the Crows this year and the last couple of years. I've really enjoyed what Matty Nix has been doing, and I love... We could argue that's the first thing that it's aged badly. Matty Nix has had a terrible 2024 so far, so this could be a long one. Let's do this. Their young core. So Adelaide sitting in 11th spot, even though the competition has been fairly even, was a little bit of a mystery to me, given how well they've played against the likes of Collingwood, and the fact that they have put the bad teams away as well. So what's caused this? Is it actually a bad thing? And why I am claiming right here and now that Adelaide will be a top 4 side in 2024. Okay, straight off the bat, what the fuck's going on with the lights? I hope this is just my laptop being a terrible camera. This looks awful. Ugh. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, join the Daz Talks Footy family, aiming for 1,500 subscribers. Also, look at how fucking fat my head looks. My God, I don't know what weight I was here, but I also don't know what I've got in the background there. What's on the TV? I don't know. Something. Before grand final day. Now, the way that the Crows are playing is pretty exciting. They've got a defense a little bit like the Giants that goes a little bit unheralded. Now, they don't have a... How fucking different is the Adelaide and GWS defense going at the moment? Now, the defense is actually the one part of the game, the ground, whatever you want to call it, that I don't really have a lot of criticism for. Injuries, I know, and their tools, I actually think are doing reasonably okay. I've got a bit of a problem with the way they're transitioning out of their back half, but in terms of how much blame I want to give to a bad Adelaide side this year, the defense is last on that list, I can assure you. A key defender of the quality of a Sam Taylor, but the sum of the parts are awesome. Now, we know how young and exciting that midfield can be. Dawson is nowhere near as old as you think he is. Rory Laird, he's still only 29. It's not like he's falling off the face of the planet. There's been a resurgence through Matt Crouch this year, who will turn 29 next year as well. And we know how exciting the youngsters in Rankin, Rochelle, and these guys, and I'll talk all about that in a little bit. Now, the first reason why Adelaide have struggled a bit this year that is completely out of their control is the fixture. Now, I know that a lot of footy fans do have gripes with the fixture for a multitude of reasons and not what this video is about. But if you take the current top 4 and the reigning premiers of Geelong, they will have played the top 4 and the reigning premiers 8 times. Gotta love the visual aid of 8 there. Fuck. I hate this. How the fuck did this get like 8,000 views? This is fucking awful. Ugh. Just, yeah, you guys have been very patient. Yeah, there are reasons. If I ever want to figure out why sometimes this channel has grown slowly, I am getting the answers live. 8 times, and they're currently 3 and 4 with that game against Brisbane to come, like I mentioned. It's a pretty good record. It's extraordinary, and the fact that they've been able to test themselves against some of the better teams in the competition just goes to show how close they are. And considering their 2 really close losses to Collingwood and a really close loss to Melbourne just recently at the MCG as well, there is no reason to think that the Crows can't make that jump next year. You would be right, Daz. You would be 100% right.
You haven't taken one thing into consideration, though, and that would be that they forgot how to play football. I'm still not convinced that's your fault, though, but I'm still with you.
Now, my big gripe with the Crows at the moment is for the last 6 weeks, they have really taken Rochelle and Rankin and their quicker mids out of that third midfielder spot.
Hey, welcome to problems that'll never be solved. Why do I get the feeling it's going to be they could be top 4 if they get quicker in the midfield?
To go with Laird and Jordan Dawson, and considering both of those guys are All-Australian quality, or in Laird's case already an All-Australian defender, having Dawson come off the halfback flank for a little bit in a quarter and having Laird, Matt Crouch and Isaac Rankin at a stoppage really does bring some X-factor and speed that I think is needed for this Adelaide midfield to take that next step.
Dear Matthew Nix, this is still correct even if Rankin's not there. You could argue Saligo going in there does help that a little bit, for sure. I'm with you. I love Jake Saligo a lot, but Jesus Christ, put Dawson or Laird back.
And whether they go and draft one with their first selection this season,
who cares? They won't develop one anyway.
I believe the Crows need to trade up because they've got 3 picks inside the top 30. I think they need to package 2 of those up and maybe something in the future and get into that top 6, 7, 8 spot. I would be targeting Gold Coast's first pick if I was the Crows, and considering there might be a salary dump situation.
Considering that this would have been the pick that landed them Riley Sanders, this is still not a bad call. We know what they did with Curtin, but again, at this point in time, I don't think anyone saw Jake Saligo being a star, so I'm going to give you a pass here, Daz.
However, the big rise up the ladder for mine is they are going to get an easier fixture if they make finals. Now again, that
doesn't mean shit if the way they play is awful. Still sound logic, though. I am starting to get on the train of this wasn't my fault. I think Adelaide have just royally screwed me, but we'll see. I don't think there's been anything nightmarish just yet. But who knows?
There's no guarantee to not make the finals. That game against West Coast in the last game of the season is going to be uber important. That Brisbane game next week is going to be uber important. And I think they play Sydney. I'll edit it if I'm wrong here. In that second last game as well.
You weren't, but you'll never believe what happens in that game. Ben Keys celebrates pretty much at the pub on the hill before realising that it was called hitting the post, and it was about 4.5 acres off the goalpost. So, my bad.
They're going to need to win 3 of them, all 3 to make the 8, I believe, considering how tight the competition is and the fact that we've got elimination finals in basically throughout the entirety of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
The other exciting part for the Crows is that their age and experience is nowhere near what you think it is. They are bottom 3 for average age and average experience. Now, they're obviously going to go
Elite
up
graphics,
as their players age next year. Duh. And getting more experience into this list. Going into next year, by the end of next year, the only guys on their list that are going to be over the age of 30 are Tex Walker, Rory Sloane, Brodie Smith, and Rory Laird.
So knowing that that's the list, it's actually making me more infuriated that Adelaide have done this. It's extraordinary. I feel like, wow. And that, of course, that's not going to change. I don't think that's going to change. They didn't bring in anyone who's like 28, 29 years old. Extraordinary, the fall off here.
Another reason why I can see the Crows jumping up the ladder is a bit of a deep dive into their numbers. Being a good young team is well and truly fine. I look at my Hawks, for example. Good young team, but third last. 2 things can coexist at once. And there are some metrics that the Hawks are doing really, really well. There are a lot of metrics, like conceding coast-to-coast goals, for example, that Hawthorn are doing horrifically.
And this would continue for the opening month or so, although conceding scores off defensive transition is something the Hawks have done a hell of a lot better at in the last month and a half. So, go us.
However, there are some key metrics that I believe lead to successful football teams that Adelaide are doing really well.
This ought to be good.
And here they are on the screen there. Now, the coaches' votes thing for mine is...
Alright, Daz, let's have a chat. The fuck does coaches' votes have to do with anything here? I'm still well in agreement with the others as well. I don't think coaches... I mean, yeah, players that win get more coaches' votes, like I get that, but Yeah, everything else looks great. So the metrics here, okay, logic behind it. I'm still not feeling too bad about myself here.
But they are showing toughness in those stats, which is why with an easier fixture, if they don't make the 8 this year, is going to be paramount against Hawthorn, Fremantle, West Coast, and North Melbourne. Adelaide are 4-0 against the bottom 4. 4-0. If you take 2 games out of that 3-4 record, plug them into the 4-0 record they've currently got against the worst teams in the competition, as we said, with how close the ladder is, they'd be 5th. They'd be 5th.
I'm still going by sound logic here. Call me crazy. I'm still going with the logical sound.
It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. And it's why I'm jumping on. Absolutely am jumping on. It's great. I love the fact that Matty Nicks has got an identity now. You know what you're going to get from Adelaide. And sure, they've had some polarising losses this year. No one's hiding from that. They have played...
There it is. We found the bit where the legs meet cliff. Yeah, that's painful. Yeah, they don't have shit at the moment. They don't have an identity. Matty Nicks is not. Well, what made me have so much faith in Matty Nicks is kind of what I want to know. I don't know, but I think that'll be the moment where we identify. Yeah, that's where the could be top 4 and will be top 4 kind of merged and became one. I think
played horrifically in a few patches. Name me a team that hasn't played it horrifically at least once this year.
Still applies in 2024. Sydney lost to Richmond.
I love everything that they are producing at the moment. And speaking of that young talent, because you need young talent coming through. We're seeing it at the moment with a team like the Tigers, the team like West Coast.
Fuck. Uh-oh.
Who won flags in the last few seasons, but as your veterans get older, who are the youngsters coming through? Richmond are finding out pretty quickly that they're lacking in the key forward department.
Oh, okay.
Adelaide don't need to worry about that because although they've got the Texan and Richmond have got Rewalt, Adelaide have also got the next 2 ready to go in Fogarty and Riley Thilthorpe. Are they both the finished product yet? No. Fogarty, very good player and absolutely automatic from a set shot. It is beautiful to watch. Absolutely beautiful to watch. But this young talent is extraordinary. Now, not everyone on this particular list needs to play 25 games.
Alrighty, let's go through this list. Now, do I think all of these... I don't know if I thought they were all stars at the time. Hinge, Tick, Murphy, no. Fogarty, yep. Butts, yep. Chase Jones is fine. Lockie Scholl, I think's a better player than even some Adelaide fans think he is. Rankin, Tick, McHenry, no. Hamill, probably not. Nick Murray, yep. Schellenberg, I still love him. Josh Worrell, yes. Lukey Pedlar, iffy. Thilthorpe's been injured. Jake Saligo definitely is a tick. Rochelli's been poor in big moments this year. Michael Annie is still a tick, but Daz, please don't tell me you're a massive fan of Lockie Murphy or something like that.
In order for the Crows to win a flag. You need depth, of course you do. But there's something that stands out amongst these players.
Okay.
They are either ultra tough with good skills, or they're ultra skillful with a good bit of toughness.
No, they're not. Fuck. Alrighty, so I reckon out of a 12-minute 20 video, 9 minutes and 45 of it were really good. And I think we've had 45 seconds of just real drop off the cliff stuff.
Around the footy at their best, the Crows have feasted on some sides around the ball, and 91 tackles against the Suns on the weekend is just the epitome of what I'm talking about. They won ugly. And winning ugly is a sign of good teams. Sometimes you just need to scrape by. Not all the time. Don't recommend doing it all the time. But sometimes. But the Crows, I'm buying all of the Adelaide stock that I can and proclaiming as of the second week of August that by this time, 12 months from now, Adelaide will be in the 4 and playing off in at least 2 finals next season. How do you guys see the Crows? Comment below.
Did this fuckhead just say they'd play in 2 finals? Oh, shit. Okay, so, to sum up, I thought there were some really good points in there until we hit the list of tough blokes that are skillful or skillful blokes that are tough. Some in there have aged horrifically, and 2 finals. It is not good. So, yeah, not great. Not great at all. So what did we learn from this? Number one, I think it's fair to say that my videos look a fuck ton better, as do I, which is cool, nice, looking after yourself, a little bit better off. I think, having done some research doing the conclusion of this video, that from there, I think I'm down 18.5 kilos, I think, from that point in time, which is very nice. Love that for dazzling in a big, big way, but also don't blame you if you watched that video maybe in the past or something and you went, you know what, this is the last time I'm going to watch this idiot because that's what his videos look like. Yeah, that's not good. I got no defense for that. But also, quit while you're ahead, Daz. You'd made 3 or 4 fairly decent points, could have left it there, but kept going and it just got worse and worse. So, there you go. If I'm going to make that proclamation, the good reasoning's out of the way early, and then skedaddle. Does that mean we should have extra videos? Or should we make longer videos, maybe though with a bit more crafted points? I'm a way better presenter, I think, now than even I was back then. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this video. And do you like proclamation style YouTube videos about footy? Comment below, let me know all of your thoughts. I hope you had some fun with it. I hope you went very well on the weekend and looked after yourself because you're an absolute legend and you deserve to be happy. And I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.